Welcome to Finder Tech Lab. This is a free course. Per the YouTube algorithm, please comment, like, share, and subscribe the channel in helping to create more videos. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the training. Let's dive into the lesson. Today I'm going to take you through the process of how to operate Microsoft Windows. Microsoft Windows is one of the popular operating systems that is being used in our industries and the educational sectors. And to use this operating system well, you need to know how each Windows operates. So for that matter, we shall go through the steps of using Microsoft Windows. Microsoft Windows, when they talk about Windows, is the rectangular portion of your screen that displays and open programs content. So for that matter, before we move on to the Windows interface, we have what we call a desktop. This is the Windows desktop. This background is what we call a desktop, and the desktop is this big space that all these objects are on top of. So we have these objects on top of the desktop, and then also this bar also on the desktop. They all have their name, which we are going to learn about them. When we talk about the objects, we have different kind of objects that are here. We have files, we have folders, we have icons that you need to know of them, need to know how they came about. Also below the desktop, we also have the taskbar. The taskbar is used to display the name of the number of programs that you are running. This desktop color can be changed with any other wallpaper, the pictures that you prefer to use. So it's a place that all these objects are on top of it. We also have below it, which is our taskbar. The taskbar is to display the number of programs you are running. The names of those programs or the icons those programs will be displayed on the taskbar for you. We shall be learning about this taskbar, the part of it. So before we move on to the taskbar, I would like us to take note of these objects, their names, the types of objects or that we have here. On the desktop, we don't say computer screen. The name that has been given to it is what we call desktop. So you see this picture of wallpaper, then there are some kind of objects that are on it. These kind of objects are what we are going to learn the names of them, so that when you see any of them, you know what it means. We have what we call folders. Folders are electronic compartments or case inside which files and other items are kept. So to identify a folder is in the form of a briefcase. This is an example of a folder. So this is also a folder. So we keep things into folders. These are folders. So you can see it's being opened. Sometimes the color is something like yellow, sometimes blue color. It depends the version of operating system you are dealing with. So we also have this folder. So the objects or cases that we keep things into, they are all called folders. These are folders, and these are all folders. So I hope by now you should be able to identify the icon or the pictures of how folders are and their shapes. We also have what we call files. Files, when I talk about a file is the name, that is a document that you've created and you give a name to. By saving it, when you save the document, you give a name to it. So that is what we call a file. So examples of file, we have different kind of programs that you run, the program that you work or the type of program that you design with each extension of file that it has. So at this particular portion, we have what we call word processing. Word processing is one of the programs that we use for typing letters or those things. And each icon you will see is in this form with a W within, which stands for the word. So to identify which type of file format or file is this, you will see this letter within this each icon. So this is also a word file. This is also a word file. This is also for word. And when we are talking about Excel, you will see X within. This is an Excel document, and access also there is a key within. So most of the time those Word applications or Microsoft applications, they have the symbols that is within those icons that you use to identify or to differentiate which type of files. The same thing applies to the other icons, the other files. We have images. There are different kind of file formats that we have with their extensions, audio type of files. They are all there, MP3 and those stuffs. But what we are talking about here now is what is on our desktop. When you look at this, this is a Photoshop file. So as soon as you see the file, you should be able to identify what type of file is this. We also have icons. When you are talking about icons, icons are pictures or buttons that are used to represent those drive files, folders, and other items. So they normally we use them to represent. So a particular program, like maybe there's CyberLink, Power Director. This is not the actual program, but this is an icon that is representing. Anytime you want to open, as soon as you click on this, it will launch the main application for you. But this particular files, which is the web listing, they are programs that you've already designed and give a link to. So it will only open the file for you, the document that you designed. But this one is to open the program itself. So this one is also another icon, so which is standing for this particular application. So you can identify that the icons, they have some small arrows attached to them. They are programs, the program that you've run, it will give a shortcut on your desktop. Some may be on your desktop. So when you see the ones with the arrows, some of them, they are shortcuts of those applications. So those ones, you can see the design of that application. The logo of it is what we call the icon that we are seeing here, the picture of it. So anytime you want to open any of those applications, you just double click or you open, then directly to open those applications for you. So when you look through, you will see that there are a lot of those types of applications. These ones are different type of file. This is a PDF file. This is a PDF file. So this is also another audio type of file. This is also an icon of a particular web browser. So there are a lot of different type of file. All that you need to know as you save your work and you work with them, you take your time, identify the logo, their colors, and the shapes, the way they are. When you save, that is how we used to learn the different type of files that we have. But every program or every application that you use, when you save each work, it's in different style. It's having its own picture or its own icon that represents it. So if you are able to identify those things, you are good to go to know the differences between those applications and their files. Now, since we are able to identify what files are, what folders are, what icons are, we'll be learning a little bit about our mouse also. But before that, I'll just talk brief about the taskbar. The taskbar, that is the bar that is below on your desktop, which is below. You can see it at the down of your desktop. We have our start button. When you put the mouse pointer, it will display the name of your start menu for you. So when you click, it displays the menu. Click again, it goes down. We have our search engine. Anytime you want to search for any application or program that is on the machine, you only type the name over there and to display that program for you. Then you can launch the program from here. We also have different icons. The icons, some may be here and some may also be here, but all of them cannot be on this taskbar. So what is happening is that you can pin some of them here, and the ones that you are dealing with will also be displayed here for you. So these are programs that I'm working with now. So what's happening is that those programs, the one that I want, I can just go straight to that program, just click on it to display it for me. But since I'll be working with it, I don't need to close it, I'll only hide it. So we shall learn how to hide all those things. Then also we have the notification area. So we had a notification area. This side is to notify you that there are some programs that are running at the background of your system. Then we have the system clock where the time and the date also is being located for you to identify your time and to know the date of that particular day. We will be learning a little bit about the mouse. The mouse is having two buttons, that is left and right buttons. Also it has a scroll wheel in between those two buttons. And to use the mouse is having a pointer on the desktop, that is the arrow. You can see the arrow moving, that is the pointer of the arrow, the mouse. So this arrow that is pointing here, when you move the mouse upward, the arrow also goes up. When you bring it down or closer to yourself, you will see that the arrow also moves down. When you want it to go to the left side, you only move the mouse to the left side, the arrow also moves to the left side. Any direction that you will move your hand, that is the direction that the mouse pointer also moves to. So you should be able to control the mouse freely the way you want it. The more that you use the mouse, the more that you become used to it and perfect in its way of usage. Now, this object that we have here, we can do some exercises with them, and to use the mouse you have to know some of the functions of those two buttons. The left mouse button is used for selecting. If I want to select any object, there are a lot of files and folders here. If I want to work with any of them, I need to select them to tell the computer to select a specific object or file I want to work on. So let's assume I want this. When I click on it, it highlights it for me. When we are talking about the left button, you press the button, that is what we call click. When you press the right also, it's also called click. But they have their differences. The left mouse button is used for selecting, for dragging, for opening a file or folders, or launching an application, then also for highlighting. But when it comes to the right mouse button, the right mouse button is used for getting the shortcut menu of an object. That is the two different things. If anybody wants you to use the left mouse button, the person may say click on this for me, and then usually the term when you say click, we are talking about the left mouse button. Anybody asks you to click on this for me, the person wants you to press the left mouse button, even though any of them when you press this they are all click. But technically how we use it, when you say click, we are talking about we're using the left mouse button. Before anyone will ask you to use the right mouse button, the person will specify by saying right click on this object for me. So as soon as you right click on that object, it will give you a shortcut menu of it. So let's try our hand on it. When I right click, I press the right mouse button. This is what I'm to get, to give you a menu of that particular object that you right click on, where we put the mouse pointer on it before right clicking. So it gives you options. What do you want to do about that particular file? What I need to do if I want to open it, that is where I'll pick my command from there. So when it displays this menu for you, we don't use the right mouse button. If I want to execute any command that is here, what I do is to use the left button. So when you right click, what you can do to affect this particular object is you can open it, you can edit, you can preview, you can print. There are a lot of things that you can do to it. The same thing applies to each of these icons that are here. So that is the work of the right mouse button. The right mouse button is always used to get a shortcut menu of an object. If I want this thing to go over, I'll just click outside. If I say click, I mean you're using the left mouse button. So I just click, this one will just go off for me. So the selecting, when I click on it, that is select. If I want to deselect it, you just click outside. The select is the same as the highlighting. So meaning I highlight this one to work on it. So the computer works like how we human beings also go by our day-to-day things. So what happens is, anytime you want to work with any of these objects here, you need to specify by telling the computer, I want to work on this. If you do not select any one of them, the command will not function until you specify. Whether a lot of things here, the computer will never know which of them you want to apply that your command to. So always you need to select. So single selecting, we have ways of selecting more than one or two files or objects. So what I can do is, you can, if you want to select more than one, you don't put a pointer on one, you send the pointer away from it where there is nothing. You click from there, you drag it around. When I mean drag, you click on the left button, press it, hold it, don't remove your hand, move it around the object. When you realize that where you get to is okay for you, before you release your hand on it, then you can see that those objects or those group of icons has been what? Selected. So what you do is to deselect this one back again. You just go to the empty space, that is your desktop free space, just press the left button again, which is the click once, then to take it off for you. So this is how we select a single selecting, a group selecting. So we take note of that. Now the dragging, when you talk about dragging, that is pointing to an item on the desktop, pressing and holding down the left mouse button as you move the mouse through a distance and releasing your hand on it. That is the dragging. So you can see as I'm moving, I press the left button, my hand is still on it, I'm moving it to where I want it to be. So when you get to where you prefer it to be, just release your hand on the left mouse button. Consider now I move it from here to here. This is what you call dragging. So you will be using this a lot, especially when you are going to deal with something like designing aspect. You will be using the mouse to draw something. So in that order, you need to practice how to use the mouse well, so that anytime you get to any of those advanced applications, you won't find yourself wanting. Now let me move some of these files and folders to the right side. One of the best way to practice how to use the mouse and how to control the mouse is by dragging some of these things to the left side and dragging them back to the right side. The more that you do it, the more that you become used to it. So you just come to this one, click and drag, you click and drag. You try to make sure that it shouldn't enter into the corner, because when it enters into the corner, it will give you another options there that you need to take off. So just position them where you can move them, because you'll be dealing any angle how you want this thing to go. You'll be dealing with all those things. So what you have to do is you practice it. You should be able to. So for your assignment, you can pause this video, then you practice this on your desktop until you become perfect and know that now I can move the mouse. Then you can continue with the video to the next stage. So you just click, hold the left mouse button, you move it to where you want it to be, then you release your hand on the button. When you go, just click, you move it, then release your hand on the button. So this is what we call dragging. So practice it so that you become perfect with how to control the mouse. Now let's come to the start menu. The start menu, Windows has its logo. This is the logo of Windows. So most of the time, anytime you want your start menu, some you will see start written on top of it, or when you send your mouse pointer there, you see the start will be displayed for you. You click on the start, you are going to see in the menu, this is what pop-up is what you call the start menu. So to display the informations that is hidden there for you. When you come to that place, we have the applications that have been installed. We have what you call the scroll box in the bar here. You can move to see all the applications that are running on this machine. So we also have our shutdown, which is the power. This symbol is what we use in shutting the computer down. When you want to boot your computer, when you want to shut it down, you go through this process. It's not as for shutting down the computer. It's not like our television that we press the power button or the remote and it just go off once. This one needs to save whatever work that we've done, then it can shut down properly. So anytime you want to shut your computer down, you see we have these buttons that is for the system unit. If it is your laptop, where the power button is, the switch is, that is the switch symbol. Then when you come to your monitor also, you will see that symbol on it. So the symbol for booting our computer or shutting it down. Now when you want to shut it down, we have different options under this button. So when you click on it, we have sleep, we have shut down, then we have restart. So you need to know how to operate or how to shut down a Windows. When you finish using it, you have to close all the applications. After closing them, that is where you come to your start, then the power, click on it to display those options that is under this power for you. When you are talking about sleep, as the sleep, the PC stays on but it uses low power. The PC what stays on, but it's used low power. The app stays open. So when the PC wakes up, you are instantly back to where you left off. So that is how it's for the sleep. It doesn't shut the machine down totally for you. The machine just go in the mode of sleep mode, but it uses a little power. And when you press your power button once, it just wake up, and applications or things you were running before you put it on the sleep mode, everything is going to be the way it was for you. Now when you come to the shutdown, it closes all applications or programs that you are running, then it goes off totally, meaning you are done with whatever you want to do and you want to put it off. But when you come to restart, the restart also close your applications and files that you have on your desktop, then also shut the computer down. After that, it boots the computer up again to the desktop. The reason why we go by this restart method, sometimes you may be using the computer for a long time, so it may start to freeze up or there will be slowness within it. So what you have to do is you have to restart it. That is what we call warm booting. The warm booting, that is a process of you restarting your computer whilst it's being on, and you prefer it. That is how we use the warm booting. It goes off and comes on by itself, you not pressing the power button. But when you come to the shutdown, that is where the computer goes off totally. If you want it to come on, you need to go through the process of booting again by pressing the switch for the power button switch, so that it will boot to the desktop for you. And that one is what we call the cold booting or hard booting. So take note of it, the cold booting or hard. The cold booting is also called hard booting. What it does is that your machine is totally off, you pressing the power button to put it on. That is what we call the cold booting. So take note of that. I don't want to prolong the video, so what you do is you can try it yourself to see the effects of those three tools that we have here. Now I'll be coming back to this start menu again to talk about the tools, the applications, and the program that we also have here. But before that, let me talk about the start menu. We are going to learn how to launch an application or execute an application. Here, when you want to open or you are operating a particular application, we are executing it, or you've launched that application. So you take note of that. These are the technical terms that we use on the field. So you come to your start, and I'm using Windows 10. So Windows 10, this how the layout is. It will depend on the kind of operating system you are dealing with. We have Windows 11 is in, then we have Windows 7. So the type of operating system you are dealing with, you are going to see that there will be a slight difference of its interface. We have Windows 8, just that their graphics, and there will be a slight differences. But if you are able to identify one, you've gone through it well, anytime that there are some changes or where the icons or the interfaces are being arranged in different formats, you can locate the type of things that you are looking for. So the Windows symbol always is the same. So either the name will appear here, or it's going to be only the design of Windows. So you take note of the design of what Windows. So quickly, the applications are here. We have our scroll bar. This is the scroll bar, and this is the scroll box on top of it. These are the applications that are being installed on this computer. So you scroll and look for the specific program or application that you want. I'm going to launch an application like Notepad or WordPad. So where can I locate this? This particular Windows 10 and 11, their applications are in folders. But when you come to Windows 7 and those things, it's like it's also in a folder, but you need to follow a sub menu to open them. But this one, you will have to click on the, when you click on the folder that is in display, the name of that program, it will just deploy the rest of the applications that are there, or the files that are there for you to open. So when you click on it, like let me take Microsoft Word, this Microsoft Office suite, meaning it's having a lot of things under Microsoft, which is here. When you click on this drop down arrow, it will deploy the rest of the applications that are there for you. So we have Access, which is another application of it. Then we have a database. Also we have Excel, we have InfoPath. So once you look at them, you can see that they all have an icon. These are the icons of them. So we take note of their features. Anytime that you see, you know that oh, this is the type for this particular application. So this is how we used to learn about the files and which application that is being used to design that particular file. So you just scroll down, you keep on moving your scroll button. That's as I want to open Word. What you do is just click on it to take you to this aspect. We have blank, you click on it to open it for you. So this is how we launch an application or execute an application. So you take notes of this. You can go through the same procedure of opening or launching a lot as you can. So let's try another one before I move on to the next thing. If I want Windows Explorer or File Explorer, where can I locate this? So this one, we are supposed to be on the Windows system. So when it comes to Windows system, we have what we call File Explorer. This is what we shall be dealing with more. So you just click on it, it opened it for me. So that's what I want. If I want to open more, I will just go to the start again, then scroll down. Now I want to open Notepad, and Notepad can be under accessories. So you can take your time, just click on those drop down arrow for it to deploy the type of applications that are there for you. Then you just go through them one after the other to see which type of applications are under Windows accessories, which type of applications are under Windows administrative tools. So that is how we learn or to identify the locations where those applications are hidden. So always just take your time, open those folders and study the types of applications that are here. So if I want a notepad, I'll just go straight to what? Windows accessories. There's notepad. I only click on it. It will open it for me. Now if I want paint, paint is also under accessories. So just take your time, study the icons, study those folders and the types of applications that are inside those folders. That is how you'll be able to identify the locations where those files, those applications are being kept. Now let's move on with the Windows itself. Now we are moving on to the Windows. So like the one I just opened, which is the File Explorer from Windows system. Anytime I need a File Explorer, you can get it from the Windows system. So the File Explorer has opened a Windows for me. Now when we are talking about Windows, the Windows is the rectangular portion. This is the rectangular portion of your screen that displays an open program's what content or a file content. You will see that it's going to be in a rectangular portion. This window is having a path. We are going to study the part of it. Take your time, go through the parts of the windows. If you are able to capture and keep them in your mind, then you are good to go. Any Windows application that you meet, any advanced application that is being designed in Windows, you are going to see these features that are around them, and it's the same procedure that you are going to use to operate them. So we need to practice, identify those tools, how they are being used, and you are good to go. This is the title bar. The title bar is the title bar, the bar that displays the title of the current program you are dealing with. So when you hear the title bar, the title bar is to display the current program you are running. So since I'm running File Explorer, you can see as soon as I open it, it took the whole desktop, and the name is being displayed at the top for me, which is telling me what? File Explorer. On the same title bar, we have what we call the Windows control. This is the Windows control boxes. The Windows control box. So these are the tools that control the Windows. You have to take note of them. They are the key things. Any application that you are going to open, you will be seeing these tools. And the way we are going to learn how to operate them here is the same way that you have to use them also over there. Now when you come down, we have what we call the file menu. This is the menu. When I talk about the menu, it is where there are different kind of or different options within those tabs that are there, and each tab that you click on, it will deploy its ribbon for you. So you take note, the ribbon will give you more information that are hidden within those menus that are there. So example, when I click on view, these are all things that is under what? View. When I come to this place, these are all things that is also under it. So you can see how it works. So each of them has something that is under it. So all these things you need, when you click, you have to study them, then identify where these things are being located, and anytime you want to use them, you will be able to locate them quickly to execute them. We shall be learning about some of these tools, how to use them, so don't worry for now. we have the file. Below it, we also have what we call the panels of folders. Before that, we also have the tools, the standard toolbar. Sometimes it will be displayed in different row for you, but you can see this one and the address bar, they are on the same bar. These are the toolbars. These are tools that is used to control the windows, that is to go forward or to go to back. If you wanted to go back, you use those arrows, the forward and the back arrow, to operate it. But when you come to this box, that is what we call the address bar, is to display or to give you access to know where your file is being sent to. And when you are to display also, the one that you display, it will give you the route to know where this file is being exploited from. So that is one of the functions of the address bar. When you click on the drop down arrow, you have the drop down arrow that is attached to it. If there are other information, it will display all of them here for you. Then we have what we call the refresh, that is the quick access refresh. If I want to refresh my Windows or the quick access, I'll just use that button. Then the right side of it, we have what we call the search. Anytime that you want to search for a particular file or a folder that is within that quick access folder, you just use the search engine. Just type the name of the file or a folder that you are looking for. It will just display them at this place for you. So this place, we have the names for them, which is what you call the folder. The content, the content displays the information that is in the folders that are here. These are the panels of folders. So here can be the folder panel. So this place arrange is when I talk about panel of something, that's an arrange of folders. So the one that you want to see what is inside, you just click on it. So the content will display all the things that is in that particular folder. If you don't want to change, you can go to this one. You can see this one is also displaying what is inside that particular folder. When I click on this PC, what is in this PC will also be displayed at where the content is. So this is the folder panel and this one is the folder content. So we take note of these differences. Then now below it, we also have what we call the status bar. This is the status bar. The status bar is to give you information about your Windows, the window that you open, the kind of things that is inside, to give you brief about it. So when you look at the panel, this PC that has to click on inside the content, what is inside the content is what the status bar is accounting in. So you can see it's saying you have 10 items. Out of the 10 items, one is being selected. We've learned about select. You can see the highlight is on this one. So one item is being selected. If I want to remove this select out, I will just click on the desktop. This place is also called the desktop. So this becomes a desktop. So anytime you are dealing and the window application itself is being opened down, you click on the desktop, meaning the free space where there's nothing. This is the desktop. Just click there. You can see the highlight is off. On the status bar, that one item selected is no more there. So when you count these items that are here, it's 10, and the status bar is giving you an account of it that you have 10 items inside this folder, which is this PC. When I move on to this folder, it will also calculate a lot of items that are there. That is, it says 16. As soon as I click on one, meaning I select one of the items. When I want to go deal with the group one, I can click and drag to highlight this one. How many did I select now? So it's telling me that we have 16, but I select 5 of the items. So this is how we go about this. Good. Now the next thing is I want us to go back to the Windows control. This is the Windows control box. These tools here control the windows. The first one, when you want to know the names of any of the tools under Windows, just put your mouse pointer on it for a second to display the name for you. So you see this one is what minimize. The work of the minimize is to hide the windows on the taskbar for you, not to close it. Maybe you are doing something, realize that this application, I don't need it right now. I want to do something else and come back to it. The meaning you can hide it on the taskbar, then you continue working with the other folders or application you want to deal with. And how to create this folder, and that is going to help us to be able to manage our files well in Windows. Because if you just save your work and just dump it anywhere, when you are looking for it, it's going to be difficult for you to locate where those works are. So for that matter, we have to go through the process of file management. We create a folder. So it will depend when creating a folder, you have to look at the type of things that you are dealing with. If what you are going to deal with is music, you can create a folder and give a name to it as music. So let's set an example of that. To create a folder, we have about 2-3 ways of creating a folder. So we are going to learn the process. You can right click on the desktop. When I mean a desktop, the free space, don't right click on any of the objects or the icons that are here. The free space is the desktop, even though all these ones are on the desktop. So we just come to where the free space is, right click on it. You see we have what we call new, and then we have folder. So you can see the folder is being displayed here. The cursor is blinking at the end of it, meaning it's ready for you, is ready to accept any text or what you will be typing into it. So anytime that you create a folder, what has to come into your mind is you give a name to it. It's like the way that you give birth to a newborn baby. You have to give a name to that particular baby for it to be identified. So when they mention the name of that particular baby, you know that it's talking about this particular thing or this particular person. The same thing applies to what we call folder. When you create a folder, the name that you are going to see there as the default is what we call new folder. When you leave it and you want to create another folder, you are going to see another new folder, but it will be adding 1, 2, 3, because you cannot use the same name for different folders or files at the same time. So you have to differentiate them by adding numbers to it. So to avoid that, when you create a folder, you give a name to it. So I'll just name this folder as what? Study. Then after typing the name, you need to click outside to confirm, meaning outside on the desktop to confirm, or you just press enter on the keyboard to confirm. When I click outside, you can see now the highlight is off. Now I create a folder with a name. So when I want to open this, you just double click, or you click on it once, press enter on the keyboard to open it for you. So you can see what, as we were talking about the tools, if I want to go back, I will just click on this back arrow to take me back to where I was. So I'm still working with the desktop. I'm still working with desktop. So all the things are in there. They are on the desktop. So since I create this folder on the desktop, I can double click and double click fast. It's open it for me. So I'm going to create the rest of the folders here. Then we will learn how to copy them, then also send them. But let me minimize this folder and create another one on the desktop for us to see how it works. If I want to create a folder here, you can see the study that I create. That is what it's here. I can right click on this desktop, you still see new, then you move on to a folder. It's being displayed here. Then I can say this one, practice. So that is another way also of creating a folder on the desktop. And let's go back to our Windows. I want us to do everything inside the Windows itself. With other applications, you will see we have the file. When you click, we have a new folder. Click on it. It will what? Give you the name, what name that you want. You give to that folder. You click outside to confirm it. So that is under the so we have the new folder. So either you use this way or you right click to take you to where new. Just follow the direction of the arrow. When you are closer to the end of the distance, you see instead of the arrow have to go to this side to display it at the right side for you, because of this is the end of where your desktop is being displayed. So if there's a space here, it's going to display it at the left side for you. So this is how we create folders. We have different ways of creating the folders. Right click on the desktop, just go to a new and click on the folder. Then you give a name to it and confirm it. So these are the ways of creating the folders. Anywhere that you get to, you can create a folder by using the same procedures. So let's assume the file management. Maybe I have what we call music. You can create a folder. Name it as what? Music. Now, in this music folder, I can open it. You just click on it, press enter on the keyboard to open it. That's how we learn how to. We'll be coming to how to open folders and the file. So when you open it, you'll see that we have what they call the music showing at the top. That is the address area for us to know the location. It's telling us where we are heading to. So we are in this music folder, which is under studies. So what do I want to do here? We have different types of what music. The music, I can arrange them that it can be video clips or audio, or maybe hip hop, hip life, in that order. Reggae music, gospel music, in this order. If you are able to create folders for all these things, it will help you a lot, especially when you are looking for a particular music or a type of document. It will be easy for you. So I'm just using music as an example. When you are dealing with documents that are Microsoft Word documents, you can create a separate folder for them. A document that is for Excel, you can create a separate folder for them. How you manage your file in a way that when you are looking for them, it will be easy for you to identify them. That is what we call file management. So under this, I can create different folder and say this one is MP3. Oh, these are all MP3 files. Then I can say this one is video clips. I can say this one is also gospel music. Then I can say this, and so on. So these are just examples that I'm just setting for you to understand what I mean by file management. So if you get the clue of it, you should be able to do that. So the main aspect is you should know how to create a folder. If you know how to create a folder, you can give the names to them. So I can use the back arrow to go back into the study. So in the study, we have what we call about four of the folders that are here. And when you come into my music is the music is the one that we have those categories of what songs also over there. So let me go back again. Now, before I move on to the other lessons, I will like us to learn how to open files and folders, even though we've learned how to launch an application by the start, but how to open them with the icons, or if you want to use the mouse button, that is the double clicking. To open a file or a folder, you can right click on it. When you select right click on it, you see you have open. When I click on it, it has opened. What's the name? ICO. Let me go back. That's the name of the mom. Now we are in the study folder. So all these folders, they are inside study, and study is also on the desktop, so you can see the root of the address where it's coming from. So if I open mom, I can double click to open. That's mom. When you want to open and you want to use the double click, the double clicking is pressing the left mouse button twice. It should be fast. When you click once and you wait for some seconds before you clicking the second one, it gives you different command. So always when you want to use the double click to open it, you have to click it fast twice, then it will open for you. So let me try this and with the double clicking. You can see how it goes. Now I want to go back. So this is how we open a file or a folder. What I'm doing for these folders is the same thing that you can use to open these folders, that these files that are here, and the icons that are any one of them that you want to open. Just use the same procedure and you are good to go. So let me say I want to open this word. I'm having an issue with this word, so okay, let me just try this one. Now open, you can see there are some things in it. So that is how you open these files and icons on the desktop. You can also, when I say you can use the right click, when you select it, right click and go to open, it will open for you. You double click, it also open for you. So these are the two ways of opening: double click, or you right click on the file or the folder that you want to open. Then you just go to, if you don't select it, to give you different commands. So always you select, click on it first by pressing the left mouse button, then now you right click on it before you're able to get all these commands that will affect that particular folder. So if you are on the desktop too and you want to open any of the files and the icons that are here, you can double click or you click on it once, press enter on the keyboard to open it for you. So you see how it goes. When I double click, let me use the left button, double click, it open it for you. So this is how we open. Or I can decide to right click on it, you go to what, open, still open it for you. So these are the three ways. So try your hands on how to open a file or a folder in Windows, and you are good to go. You are going to use the same procedure in the upcoming or the advanced applications that you'll be meeting. Now let's try our hands and how to rename them. We've learned how to quit. So before we rename, let me add additional ones to it. I need more of the folders so that we can rename them. So you quit more. If you are to quit, you make sure that you quit 50 of the folders, 50 folders, then you rename them. By the time that you finish renaming all of them, then you will be okay with the command. So try as hard and quit 50 folders on your desktop. Now we have come to rename a folder or a file. If I say a folder or a file, meaning what you are going to do for the folder, you can apply it for a file. Take note of it. Maybe you copy a file from your friend and you realize that now, okay, after you copy it from there, now you want your name should be the name of the file. You can change the name from your friend's file name to your own, or you copy a folder from someone also, that the name that is what we are doing for this Windows, you can do it for any application that is under that is in Windows. So if you are able to get the clue or the understanding of how to operate this file explorer, you can be able to operate any of the programs that is also in what Windows. Linux is having similar thing, which is also having those Windows control. So we are dealing with Windows for now. So you just take your time, study the names of the tools and their functions. So the minimize is used to hide. So let's see how it works. When I click on the minimize, you can see that it has hide the Windows. I didn't close it. When you close it, now you have to launch the application again or the Explorer again, which will take you time. So what you do is just hide it. So it's because since it's a folder, it's being located under where the folders are. So you can see it's here. So I wouldn't just move, then click on it. The other applications like Windows 7, for them is in different layout. You will see that the number of applications that you open, they will all be displayed in this form. But from Windows 10 and Windows 8, now from 8 upwards, what they do is they group the particular application or folder or file you are dealing with at one place, because the space here is not big for all about number of programs that you open that will be displayed here for you. So any folder that you open, anything that you open that is in the form of a folder, all of them will be under folders. You can see I open about 4 of them. They are all showing under this folder. So if I open something that is Photoshop, all of them will be displayed under this. If I open about 5 of them, they will all be hidden here. So I only need to put a mouse pointer on it. If I put a mouse pointer on it, it will display the number of them that are open. The ones that I need, I'll only go and click on it, then it will open it for me. That is how it works. The same thing applies to these applications. See that Word, as soon as I put the mouse pointer on it, it displays the number of Word applications that are open down. So you just go straight to the one you want to deal with. When you click on it, it will open it for you. That is how it works. So quickly, let me just minimize some of them. So like I see the Word application, as I said, if I'm able to learn how to operate the Windows, the Word application is also having the features of what Windows. So if I want to minimize, I need to use this one to minimize it. If I come to this side also, this one is also having the features of what Windows. So just click on this to minimize it. This is how we minimize the Windows. Now, to restore it, I will just come to put the mouse pointer on the folder that you are dealing with. As soon as you put the mouse pointer out where the folders are, it will display the number of folders that you open. The one that you want, just when click on it, it will display it on the desktop for you. Since we are done with how to use the minimize, let's go to the next one, that is the restore. This particular place is having 2 tools that are there. We have maximize and the restore. So the 2 of them rotate. So take note of this portion. See that here we have 2 boxes. One is at the back and one is in front. Anytime that you see these 2 boxes, at the same time there is what we call restore down, meaning you should reduce the size of this Windows for you to a smaller size. That is the real size. So when I click on it, you can see what happened. It has reduced it to a smaller size for me. So if I want to make it to be in the form of full screen or large, that is where I'll use the maximum. When you look at it, you can see the symbol has changed. Now it is only 1 box. As soon as I put a pointer on it, you can see it is saying maximize. So meaning when I click on it to make it bigger for me. So that is the work of the maximize button. So we have the restore down button, maximum button, and the final one is what we call the X. Anywhere that you see the X is used for closing the application. is either if it's a file, a folder, whatever it is that is having a lesson. The X is always used to close the application, so you take note of that. So let's try our hands on the minimize and maximize again. This is the minimize. If I want it back, I only click into display the number of folders I have opened down. I want this one. I'll just come onto it, just click on it, then it will be the active folder I'm dealing with now. So on the title bar, you can see the name of the folder that I open is also being displayed. Now let's come to the restore down. When you click on it, it will just restore your Windows to a smaller size for you. Maybe you want to do 2 or more things, that is where you reduce the size of the windows. Whilst you are doing something here, another windows can be somewhere here whilst you work on the tool, or either you are watching some movie at the same time you are monitoring something here. So you can open more than 1, 2 or 3 windows whilst you work on them one after the other. Now the X, which I said is for the close, click on it, it close the application for you. So if I want it to close that application or folder for you, if I want to open it again, I have to go through the long process to do that. But since I've opened some down, I will only just go back to those ones and work with them. The next thing is how to move our windows. That is what moving of windows and resizing of the windows. Since now we've learned how to use the minimize, maximize, and the close button, we also learned about the status bar. So to move our windows, that is one of the things that we also have to take note of. I can decide to position this window somewhere here and put another one here. That is what moving the windows. So to move it, you send your mouse pointer to the top. That should be on the title bar. This bar where the title is, and you click drag. We've learned about dragging up. When you press the left mouse button, hold it, then you move the mouse. So you move it until you get to where you want it to be, then you release your hand on it. This is what we call dragging. So we are using that dragging method to move the windows, to position the windows at a suitable place for us. Now we have another windows here. I can position that one also. You can see what I was talking about. So if you are to watch movie here and be monitoring another thing here, you use this process of what moving the windows. So this is how we move windows. The next thing I want us to talk about is resizing of the windows. Sometimes when you minimize or you restore down the windows, it's not going to be in this small shape for you. It may be bigger than the way you are seeing it here. You have to reduce the size so that 2 or more can be on your desktop for you to see all of them at the same time. So quickly, let's see how to resize them. To resize your windows, you send the mouse pointer to the top, especially the mouth of the pointer has to be on the edge of the windows, either the left, right, bottom, or top. So when you put the mouse pointer, it will change to this side. This button is what we call the vertical resize one. That is the vertical resize one. So you click on it, you drag it up. When you want it to come down, you can click and you can drag. So it's like the way we were learning about dragging folders, files, same thing. So you make sure that the mouse pointer has to change into this vertical resize. This the name of this one is what called the vertical resize. If you want to move it from the down, so go and put the mouse pointer on the edge and the down, is going to change to this is the vertical resize 2. The first one is the 1 and the second one is the 2. So that one also you can click Once you hold the left mouse button, you move it up or down how you want it to be. If you want it to be big for you and this one is okay, then release your hand on the mouse button, that is the left one. Now when you want to resize also at the diagonal, you can put your mouse pointer at the left side of it. You change to the horizontal resize for you. This is the horizontal resize button. You click, you drag. As soon as you click, you just drag it to the size that you prefer. So if this one is okay, you release your hand on the left mouse button. You can come to this side also and do the same thing. Just put the pointer on the edge to change horizontal resize. Click on it, then you drag. So this is how sometimes when you restore down your Windows, it will be in the size of something of this sort, or it will be a little bit bigger than it. So what you have to do is to resize to a small size that you want. We also have what we call the diagonal resize 1 and 2. The diagonal resize 1, you put the mouse pointer at the corner, not on these tools, but the corner. As soon as you put it at the corner, it will change to this sign. This is what we call the diagonal resize 1. When you change this, you click on it. This one, it controls the left, that is the right side and the bottom once. So whilst I'm controlling the right side of it, I can control the down also at the same time. So you can see that it's resizing the down, then the right side at the same time. So this one is doing 2-in-1 thing at the same time. If I want to expand it also the same way, so you can decide to use this one after the other, or you just put the mouse pointer at the corner to get the diagonal resize tool. You click, you drag to control the two sides at the same time. The same thing applies to this. I can put the mouse pointer at the left side also. You see, you get a diagonal resize tool. You can control here and here at the same time. So this is how we control or we resize the windows. Anytime you want to resize the window, you can use this method to apply it. What we are doing for this particular folder or file explorer, you can apply it for any application in Windows, any other application. If you want to resize it, you just go through the same procedures. What you are doing here, that is what you will be using in those advanced programs. So take note of it. That is the reason why you need to go through this one to know it well. If you are able to know how to control, how to use the Windows, then you are good to go with any application on Microsoft operating system. I want us to check some of those arrangements of the folders. So when you come here, we have the desktop. There are a lot of things that is under the desktop. When I go to the quick access, as soon as I click on this arrow, it will hide those subfolders that are there for me. If I need them, just click on this arrow that is showing to under the quick access. These are the 4 things that is under the quick access. Now to know that there are something inside these folders, that's where you click on them. So each of them, what is inside them will be displayed at where the content also is. So you take note of that. That is how we explore those windows, or we explore the files that are within some of those folders. So when you hear the Windows Explorer or File Explorer, we are trying to open into another folders to get a specific file, or to get another folders. That is some of the work of the Explorer. So you take note of that. So as we've learned about the interface, should be able to identify some of these things. If you think I'm going fast, you can pause this video, take your time, then you go through them until you get a clear concept of what I'm talking about. As you practice, you will become used to it, then you can continue the video. Now let's move on with the scroll bars. Scroll bar is also one of the things that is under Windows that you'll be meeting in some of the advanced courses or programs, especially when you are talking about this scroll bar. The scroll bar is to help you to see the hidden applications or folders that is not showing on your desktop. That is the main work of what the scroll bars. On your desktop, maybe the application that you have on your desktop is more than the space that is being provided on your desktop. So anytime that the applications are more than that, you will see that the scroll bar, either the left, that is the horizontal scroll bar, or the vertical scroll bar will be displayed for you. So you are going to see how these scroll bars work. Now, let's assume this window, as we all know that the window is a rectangular portion. If the size, this is the place where it's to display all the files for us. If there is more space here, you are not going to see the scroll box and the scroll bar. So I'll resize this window so that it will be small for me to see what's going to happen. As soon as I start to scale it up, this place there will be a bar that will be displayed. That is what we call this vertical scroll bar. You can see this one, and the down also is showing some because I scale this place, meaning the rating that is here is not all the things that I can see. And here also the status bar is telling us 16, but if I count this one that is here, it's not up to what the 16, meaning some of them are hidden. So what do? The only thing that you can use to see those things, anytime that the file or the object are more than the size of the windows, you have to check the right side in the bottom. If you see this what we call the scroll box, the bar is the one that this one moves on top of. That is what we call the bar, and these arrows are the left scroll button, and this one is the right scroll button. The same thing applies to this one. This one is the bar, that this box, it moves on the bar. So this one is what we call the scroll box. This one is also called scroll box. This one is the bottom scroll button and the top scroll button. You can use any one of them. If I want to see some of the rest of the files or the objects that are hidden, I can click on this button. So you can see that those ones that are at the down are all being moved up for you to see. Then the ones at the top has also entered. So it may come that you see a Windows that you are having about 50 or 100 files or objects on your desktop. That is where these scroll bars will be displayed. So you take note of that. If the files and the object that you have is just few, you are not going to see the scroll bars. So let me maximize this work and see what I'm talking about. I see that as I maximize it, there is nothing showing here because now the space what is here has displayed, it just ended here, and this one has also ended here. So there's no need for the vertical scroll bar to be showing here and the horizontal scroll bar. It only displays when the things are many on your desktop, which you cannot see all of them at once. So anytime you are looking for something and you look through and you are not getting it, just watch and see whether if you look through and you are not getting it, just watch the right side and see whether is the scroll bar display or the scroll bar here, or the scroll bar is it at the down. As soon as you've seen those two bars, meaning some of the files or the objects are hidden, and you need to use those bars to view those ones. So that is how we use the scroll bars. So we have what we call vertical scroll bar and the horizontal scroll bar. So this one is the vertical and this one is the horizontal scroll bar. So the one that moves is the box, this one is the box, but the place where it moves on the bar. So we call that one this is the scroll bar, this is the scroll bar. So this one is the box. The box, it reduces, you will not see, sometimes not all the time you see it long, Sometimes when the files are many, you see that it will just be small here for you to just be small. So you can click on it itself, then you drag, click on it and you drag and drag it, or you can use the buttons. All of them, it works. So depend how you want to go about it. So just do more practical works on it so that you will be familiar with how to use it. Now the next thing is the 4 views of Windows. When you are talking about the 4 view, or maybe when you talk about the views of Windows, that is how the objects are being displayed on your desktop. That is the view of Windows. So as I said, I will be coming to some of these tools. We have the shortcut here. When you go to view itself, here then we have extra large icon. The extra large icon displays the icons in a big size for you to see. You can see when I click on it, then meaning what? I execute that command, I accept it. So all of them is going to be in what? A big size for you. If maybe you are looking for something and it's difficult for you to look for, you can make it in a big size. And if all is not being displayed for you and you want it to everything to be on just one simple display, you can come to the large icon. The large icon will also display all of them. The moderate is not going to be too large, too small. That's how the large icon is. So you just click on that one, it's going to be in that format. Then also it will display the name of the folder, the name of the file, then also the types or the type of application that is being used to design it. We have the medium. Medium is also similar to the large. So medium is also similar to the large. It's also display the name and the type of files. So when you look at how this two look like, it's just similar to each other. So if you don't want this, we have another one which is also small. So you can see small has also arranged it in a different format. This is the way the small also look. Let me just take the desktop so that we see how. So you can see how this one also look like. So if I don't want it this way, I can decide to go to the tiles. See, one thing about the tiles also, display the name and position them in that arrangement order. This one is telling you the name of the file, the type of application that is used to design that. So you can say Microsoft Excel worksheet. Then the size is 19.5 kilobytes. This one is also a PDF file. So you can see the size is also being displayed. This one, you can see that is what Adobe Photoshop image. It's an image file. So what is the size? It's 13.4 megabyte. That is the work of the tiles. Tiles displays the information with what? Detail. It's similar to the list. The list and the contents are also similar. So you can see this one is what? Microsoft Word document, 35.1 kilobyte. And look at the symbol, the W, that is for the Word, PS, that is for Adobe Photoshop, then Microsoft Edge PDF. So you can see the format. So you, as soon as you are able to capture the icons, as soon as you see the icon, you know that it's this particular application that is used to design it. But if you find it difficult for you to learn it, this is how we go about. You just go to the view. The view should give you details about those applications of files and folders. As soon as it displays, to give you the name, then the type of application, the size of it. When we go back to the view where we have a list, list will also arrange them. It's going to arrange them from top to down. This one, it moves from left to right side, but it arranged it from the top. It arranged from the top. When you get to the end of where the window is, it will not go to the down for you to use the scroll bar, because when you move to the right side, so it will come and start from the top again. When this side ends, then it will go up, right? As soon as this one also end here, it will go to the next one. So it's like it's moving from left to right side. So that's where you are going to get your horizontal scroll bar. So you can use the bar to move it. You can see, so all the things that are hidden here is going to display them for you to also see. So that is the work, the horizontal scroll bar here. So the list is to put them, list them in order from top. When you get to the down, you start from the top again at the right side. When you get to the down, it goes to the top again in that order. Now when you look at content, good content also give you the name of the folder or the file you are dealing with, the file, then the date and time that is being created. So you see we have a date, this one 3rd February 2022, the time that is being created. So you only go through this to identify how these views look like. Anytime that you are looking for a particular file or folder that you remember the time or date that you created, when you position this order, you just go through those dates or years that you create those files or folders. Then it will be easy for you to identify what you are looking for, the type of file you are looking for. Here also we also have the details mode. The detail also give you detailed information about the file or a folder. So when you look at this portion, we have the names of the files and folders, the date that is being created or being modified. When you do any changes and you save it, that is the modification. So it will give you the date and the time, then what type of file or a folder. So you can say this one is saying folder. And when you come here, you see what the size. See, the folders normally doesn't display the sizes of them, but files and those things, they have their sizes. So let's come down. You can see this file is saying which type of file is that, what green wrap. So what is the size? 111,989 kilobytes. That is the size of it, and the date that is being created and the time. So you can see the same thing, it follows up this Microsoft PowerPoint 6,259 kilobytes as the size of it. So this is how we watch the view. If you want to know the view of your application or file that you are dealing with, you just go to the views of Windows, then how you want to see them, you just click on them and it's going to display them for you in that order. Now how to go about file management. As we've gone through all this process, learning how to go about the views of Windows, also you need to know how to go about file management in Windows. When you are talking about file management, how you are going to keep your files, the directories where you'll be keeping your files. So we have what we call folder. We all know the explanation of what we call a folder. We say folder is an electronic compartment case inside which files and other items are kept. So meaning we keep things into what folders. So you have to learn how to create the folder on your own. You're going to learn how to create the folder on your own, how to rename it, how to give a name to it, how to delete if you don't need it, how to delete it from your system, then how to restore it back, then also how to copy, cut and paste it under the file you want to change it to yours. What you do is you just rename it. So that's what we are going to do. To rename file or folder, we have also different ways of doing that. You can click on it once, wait for some seconds, click on it a second time again. You'll see that the cursor is blinking at the end, meaning it's ready to accept whatever text that you put. So I'll just say this is the name I want to give to it. Then also I have to confirm by clicking outside. So you can see I rename this particular folder from the CAM to t-text. So this how we rename it. This is one of the way. Another way, I can right click on it, then go to where I didn't select it. So after selecting, right click on it, come to a rename. So always the right mouse button is to give the shortcut of the menu for that particular object that you select. So after see you changing the name to you, now I will confirm it. Press enter to confirm it. So this one you click on it, wait for a second, then click on it the second time again, and then you change it for you. But this one you right click on it. When you right click on it, you first select it, you right click on it, you go to rename, then it will what? Give you the access of you changing the name for it. There is another way also of the renaming. Sometimes when you select the file and you go to file itself, is to give you the option of what renaming. But this particular is not all the applications that give you that options. So you can go with these two ways. Either you right click on it to change the name of it, or you can have, like we human beings, sometimes when you want to talk to somebody or you send someone, you mention it a particular person that go to this particular room and take this specific machine for me. Or if there are a lot of machines over there, just tell the person to go there and take the laptops for me. As soon as the person get there are many laptops there, he doesn't know which of them to take. That is how the machine also works here. So anytime that you have files, folders, you have to specify by telling the computer, I want to work on this. So as soon as you select it, the computer knows which of them that you want to deal with. So let me change the name. I want to clear this one, but I don't want it anymore on my machine. So one way of doing it, you can right click on it also. After selecting, right click on it, and you come to delete. You press it to just take it off for you. So that is, I say that is no more here. Then where the cam is, I don't need this particular one also. I don't know, it's also occupying space. Another way also of doing that, when you look on your keyboard, you see we have del or delete. Just press on that one, it will also take it off. In Windows 10, 11, as soon as you press the delete, it doesn't give you a prompt. It just take it off from there. But the below version, like Windows 7, Windows 8, when you press the delete, it give you an option that, are you sure you want to delete this particular file? So if mistakenly you want to press it, what you do is you just press no, or you click on the no to cancel the command. But for this Windows 10, 11, as soon as you press the delete, you take it off from there. And all these files and folders that we are deleting, they go into the recycle bin. So you should know where you are deleting them if you want to bring them back. That is where you can go and bring them back. But if you don't know where exactly you deleted them from, it will go back. You will not be able to know the location where you deleted them initially. So now that we delete some of this, now let me just minimize this so that we go to where our recycle bin. This is the recycle bin. So the recycle bin, if you want to open it, you just double click or you click on it once to select it. You press enter on the keyboard. So let me go by the double clicking. So you can see these are things that is also inside there. Let me move that one also here. So the folders that I delete, I'm coming to look for them, whether if they are here. If they are here, I'll see them. Okay, this one. And then this one also. So these are the two folders that we delete. So if you don't need a particular file or folder that is occupying space on your hard drive, you can delete it from your system. But when you delete it, it goes straight to your recycle bin. The recycle bin is to take 10% of your hard disk space. So if the work that you are deleting, or the file you are deleting, the size is bigger than that 10%, it will not go into your recycle bin. And especially files that are on a pen drive or movable drive, when you delete them, they don't go straight to the recycle bin. But the ones, if files that are on my document desktop, those ones, when you delete them, they go into your recycle bin. So anytime that you are in need of it, you just go back and take them. It's like you having a papers on your table and realize that those papers, they are occupying space on your table. You just fold them and drop them into your recycle bin under your table. Anytime that you know that, oh, I'm in need, or anytime that you realize that I need these papers, there are some documents on it or written on it that you want, you can just look inside your recycle bin and therefore take them back, or the dustbin, and bring them back. But when you empty your recycle bin, that is where you have to look for a software to recover all those files. Same thing applies to your dustbin. When the Zoom Lions or all those companies that comes for your refuse, the waste, when they send them from your home, you don't know where they are sending them, so it will be difficult for you to locate where they are taking them, so that you can take maybe what you mistakenly dump into your dustbin. The same thing applies here. So always when you're deleting, you have to check if you will be in need of it, then you take them, keep them at a different place as well. So how to restore this? I can select the one here, then I'll just go to the top. You see what recycle bin tools. So I may decide to make this thing big so that I can see it clear. So what do I need? I want to restore this one, so let me click on it. Then when you come to position the size well so that you can see it well, we can right click on this particular one and see what restore. So as I said, restore, it will go to the folder that I deleted it from. So if you don't know the folder that I deleted it from, you will restore it and you'll be looking for it, or have to take it has to take you some time before you do that. So see, now it's gone. If I check here, I think you can see that here is it. And then the next one is this one also. So you can use that process to restore all of them one after the other. But if all these things that are here, you want to restore them, that's where you have to highlight all of them. We learn about how to highlight. That's when you click, you drag around all of them. That is the group or selecting of what meaning. So if you want the recycle bin to either empty the whole thing, it will empty it. If you want to restore it to where you want it to be, it can also restore for you. So you come to recycle bin tool, we have empty recycle bin property, restore all items, and restore the selected items. So if you restore, you select a specific one, it can restore only those ones for you. So if I see empty recycle bin, to ask me, are you sure you want to delete all this 64 items permanently? If you say yes, the whole thing will go off. So let me just take off, but I don't need this files anymore. So I'll quickly delete this one so that we'll see the effect again. Right click, delete. So now you can see the two. They are here. So this is how, when you delete it, goes to the recycle bin. Then when you want it back, you can restore them. So if I want all of them to be restored, I can highlight them, come to the lesson and say restore the selected or restore all items. So to just take them back to just take them. Are you sure you want to restore all these items? Say yes. So to take them back to where you deleted them. So this is how we restore and also delete all our file from the recyclable. Now, since we are able to go through the process of deleting, renaming, and then restoring. What I want us to discuss next is the copying of files or folders. When you want to copy a file or a folder, it's almost similar thing that we've gone through for a folder. So to do that is just simple thing. What we deleted from here, I'm coming back to the deleted folders. You can delete them from anywhere, either on the desktop. When you delete this, it goes into the recycle bin. I press the delete, the keyboard, it goes off. It's still in the recycle bin for me. If I will restore it, to come to the desktop. So you take note of that. Where you deleted it, when you restore, that is where it will be going back to. Now as we want to go back to the copying, cut and paste, that is another way that we use for duplicating, moving of files or folders from the original places to a new place. So when you talk about copying, you making a copy of the original, but you're not taking the original out, duplicating it, then leaving the original there, then sending the copied one to a different location. The same thing applies to the cut. The cut, when you are taking the original from where it is to a new place, that is the work of the cut. Then the paste that is the process of putting it or placing it at where you want it to be. So you go through, it's like 3 steps. First you take it from where it was, then you go to another destination or a location, then you put it down. So let's try one. I want us to copy this folder here into this folder. So when you copy, there's 2-3 ways of copying. I right click on it, and I come down, I want to copy. The copy command, anytime that you issue a command, you can paste it 1,000 times that the command continue to work. Unless when you restart your computer, that is where the copy command will no more function. So as soon as you click on copy, that copy command can paste it 1,000 times. So we've learned how to open a folder. I want to paste it into this folder. Just come and open it. Always when you copy, try to open a new location, then you paste it. That is how we copy a file from one location to another location. So it's like you're copying the file from your document to your pen drive, or from your pen drive to your document. So if you are able to do this, you can copy from your external, you can copy from your phone to the computer, or from the computer to your phone or the external. So you take note of that. For me to paste it, since I use the right click to do that, I can right click again, then you see the command paste, not paste shortcut. Don't use that one. You have to use the paste. So as soon as I paste it, it's going to put it here for me, meaning I use the copy. So since I use the copy, it duplicates. This folder will still be at the original source, which is the study. So let me go back and see if I can see that folder there. So you can see, here is it. So I copy this folder into what? Man. So you can see here is it for us. This is what we call the copying and paste. So if you know how to use the copy and paste, maybe this folder is there, you don't need to go and recreate it again. Just use the copy command and go and paste it at the other side. For you, it's just to help you to reduce the speed, or to reduce you wasting time to redo the same thing. So let me copy this one here. You can also use, that's one of the same. You can also press the control key on the keyboard and press C. It's also used for copying. Then I want to paste into this, so I need to open this. You double click to open it for you. Then you right click and paste it. So that is how this one also go about. So when they're talking about copy and paste, it's just duplicating the original thing and putting it at different locations. So I can open this one again. The copy command is still working. I can paste it. but just that you can copy and paste the same thing at the same place. If I copy this thing, I cannot paste it here because they are all in the same room, which is what? Study. So when I copy, I need to go to different location. Take note of that. That's one of the mistakes that students do. When you copy the file, they get themselves confused to paste it here. When you paste it here, you see that it will come, or the name will appear, work copy of. It will come copy of. Then the name of what you copy will be displayed. So always put it in your mind that when you copy a file or a folder, you have to look for different location to put it, not in the same environment or not in the same folder. So I can open music, then I will paste that one over here. So you can see that command is still working. I'm not copying it again. That is the power of copying. I can copy it only once, just only once. That is copy. When I copy it only once, I can paste it into all the folders, one after the other. It works. Unless the machine restarts, then the command will no more function. But the difference between the two of them, as for the cut, when I cut it once, when I paste it, that's all. I cannot paste again. You only cut once, you only paste one. But for the copy, when I copy only once, I can paste the same thing into different locations 1,000 times until the machine restarts. That is where I cannot what? Paste it again. I have to go and issue the command again. So let's try one with the cut. When I need this, I can right click on this, then go to the cut. See, we have cut. The other one also, you have to go and look for a location. You don't need to cut the thing and paste it at the same place. So I want to put it somewhere here. Okay, music. When you double click, right click again, see we have paste. So as for the work for the cut is to take the original from where it was to a new place. So let's go back and see if in our study folder we can see U again. So now U is no more here. So this is how we go by the copy and cut. How to cut, paste a file or a folder. So let me just cut this one. Another way also of cutting, you can hold the control and press X on the keyboard, not the S. Hold the control and press what? X on the keyboard. And now you just go to where you want it to be. To paste it also, you hold the control and press V on the keyboard, and it will also drop it for you. We've learned that you can right click and you paste it. It's the same function. Because as I right click now, the paste command is no more function. But if it were to be copy, then when I right click, the command will be active. If it is not working, you see that the command is going to be light. But if it is working, it will be what? The rating is going to be in a deep black color. So let's go back to our next thing. I want to do the last one. Let me cut this one. So we've learned how to cut it this way. Right click, can use the menu also of doing that cut copy. So let me just resize my button for us to see how it also works. So as we are able to go through these steps of cutting using the keyboard, using the right mouse button, we can also use the menu also to do that. So when we come to this place, you click on the home, you see that we have what? The copy command. This is the button for the copy, and it's displaying what? Control C when you put a pointer on it. So Control plus C, that's what you can use for copy when you want to use the keyboard. Then this is the paste tool. So that is Control plus V. When you press, you are going to also you can use it to paste. Then this the scissors with that is for the cut. So anytime that you want to cut, you can go by this tool. If I want to cut, I just select it first. Select one you want to cut. Go to the home. Click on the cut. Where do you want it to be? I want it to be inside my music. So you open my music, look at it, and now you go back to the home. I see that now the paste command is active. You click on it. to drop it for you. So this is how we use the menu also to do the cut and paste. Let's try our hand by copying mp3 from here to another location. So you select it first, then you go to this side. You see that the copy command is active. You click on it. Where do you want it to be? I want it to be inside the student, so I'll just go the study, just go back. I want it to be inside man, so you double click to open. Then you just come to the home again, click on the paste to drop it there. You can go back again, open this place, go to home and paste. So you can see, as for the copy, the command is still there. You can be pasting the same mp3 work, which it will not give us any problem. So paste, you can see what is happening. But for the cut, as soon as you cut it once and paste, the command will not function again. But this one, this mp3, as we copied it, the command is still in the memory. The only thing that we have to do is what? Go to the locations where we want to paste all of them. So you just be pasting the same thing at different locations. So that is how the copy command works. So this is how we go about file management. You manage the file. The one you don't need, you clear it off by deleting. The ones that you need them, you create a folder, you give a name that will help you to identify them easy. If they are music, you just, especially there are songs, within the song they have different types of songs, you create a folder for those types and therefore put them into it.